好，咁我哋就正式開始今晚嘅分享啦。好，咁今晚咧我就會同大家分享咧Lifewave 光療貼片嘅其中一款嘅光療貼啦，就係谷胱甘肽嘅喎。好，唔該晒，唔該晒各位。OK，最緊要大家都聽到我嘅聲音嘛。OK，好啦。咁咧就首先自我介紹一下先啦。咁我就係姓鄧嘅，我叫 Steven。咁其實咧，我本身就讀電腦出身嘅。咁我係喺2001年咧，就喺中文大學嘅計算機工程系嗰度畢業。咁所謂俗稱一個 IT 人啦。咁其實咧，當然啦，出嚟即係畢咗業之後出嚟就係揾 IT 相關嘅工作啦。咁去到其實06年嘅時候咧。咁我就開始接觸健康呢方面嘅一啲嘅產業啦，咁亦都開始正式咧就即係去發展呢方面嘅事業啦。咁其實咧由06年去到我接觸 Lifewave 嘅時間都有成15、16年㗎啦。我係2021年6月嘅時候咧就係認識 Lifewave 嘅。咁而當其時亦都因為當其時我係自己去營運緊一個網站嘅生意啦，一個網店啊，主要就係賣一啲保健品護膚品嘅一個生意。咁亦都從而咧，因為咁樣咧去接觸到 Lifewave 咁當其時咧我就去開始研究 Lifewave 呢個產品。咁我覺得咧其中一個好吸引到我嘅一個原因咧。就係佢嗰個用法好簡單，因為就咁一個貼片去貼喺身體上面已經可以用得到啦。咁變咗就我當其時就上去呢間公司嘅網站去購買我人生第一包嘅 Lifewave 貼片，就係 X39啦。咁因為當其時亦都知道 Lifewave X39係呢間公司嘅一個拳頭產品啦。咁亦都開始咗我 Lifewave 嘅一個生涯可以咁講咁啊。其實如果去到今年嘅6月咧，就係啱啱好2年啦。咁即係其實都未到2年時間啦。咁我自己覺得好開心嘅，因為喺呢段時間咧就認識咗好多新嘅朋友啦，亦都透過見到用 Lifewave 貼片咧係真係透過呢個產品咧係真係幫助到好多人嘅健康啊。咁亦都令到我自己係講緊可以發展一個新嘅事業啦。好，咁咧就重溫一下先。咁其實咧，我哋上幾次咧都分享咗唔同嘅Lifewave嘅貼片啦。咁其實咧重溫一下就係話，其實原來咧我哋每個細胞咧都有光嘅喎。我哋叫光因子啦。咁其實簡單啲嚟講咧，其實原來咧細胞冇咗光嘅話咧係生存唔到嘅。光其實就係細胞嘅營養啦。咁而咧光同細胞同細胞去溝通咧，原來亦都係用到光嘅喎。即係等於好似我而家同大家溝通係用廣東話啦。咁而咧原來細胞同細胞溝通咧就係用光啦，光就係佢哋一種溝通嘅語言嚟嘅。咁所以咧，點解咧 Lifewave 嘅光療貼片咧，佢會係真係咁快咁有效，好直接咁樣可以咧，令到我哋身體產生唔同嘅功效咧？就係因為咧，佢用翻細胞同細胞溝通嘅一個語言就係光啦。咁我哋第一次我同大家分享咗 X39個功效，就係可以主要就係話增加我哋身體嘅幹細胞啦，而亦都可以幫助我哋修復基因，令到我哋全面由頭到腳由內到外去提升個修復力啦。咁另外啦，X49可以主要針對幫助我哋改善個腦部、血管、肌肉、骨骼生發防輻射呢方面啦。好啦，咁跟住啦，Eon 就係可以主要幫助消炎減壓，提升我哋嘅 SOD 啦。Energy 就好多方面可以亦都可以幫助消炎啦、平衡心率啦、改善我哋自己嘅自律神經、提升嗰個 ATP 啦，即係產生細胞產生能量嘅一個單位啦。咁亦都幫助代謝啦，改善我哋經絡嘅能量流動等等啦。咁上一次咧就同大家分享咗咧基肽卡路城呢個咧，亦都係我一個其中好中意嘅產品嚟嘅。咁佢可以幫助到抗氧化，可以抗糖化喎，亦都可以咧增加肌肉嘅力量同埋耐力，同埋咧可以幫助我哋咧促進傷口愈合啦，甚至乎咧就係幫助改善呢個認知功能嘅。咁所以好多有關於腦退化 嘅朋友咧，咁其實佢用咗肌肽之後咧，都係明顯有改善嘅喎。好啦，咁今日咧就同大家分享另外一款黃色包裝嘅光療貼片，就係谷胱甘肽啦，英文就係 Kutonfa。好啦，咁其實咧如果大家追溯翻 Lifewave 嘅歷史嚟講咧，Lifewave 第一款嘅貼片咧，其實就係2004年嘅 Energy Enhancer 啦，跟住咧去到原來咧2006年咧就已經係由David Smith 咧係研發成功咗其中就係谷胱甘肽啦，所以谷胱甘肽其實咧已經都有10幾年嘅歷史噶啦，佢係由2006年開始就已經係面世嘅。好，咁其實谷胱甘肽係乜嘢嚟咧？其實咧如果有接觸開健康保健呢方面嘅朋友咧，我相信應該谷胱甘肽對大家都唔陌生嘅，因為谷胱甘肽其中就係我哋身體咧一個係非常重要嘅一種抗氧化劑佢被稱為咧我哋身體咧其實講緊抗氧化劑，即係我哋身體好多抗氧化嘅物質啦，去幫助我哋身體抗氧化啦。咁而谷胱甘肽咧係講緊咧抗氧化之中嘅將軍嚟嘅，大將軍嚟嘅。因為咧佢係喺我哋身體每個細胞都有谷胱甘肽啦，而呢個谷胱甘肽咧亦都可以保護我哋細胞嘅 DNA 免受呢啲游離基去傷害嘅喎。好啦，咁如果大家咧即係都可以嘗試下上去呢個美國政府嘅一個嘅官方網站啦。咁咧，大家可以記住呢個網址啊。咁你去呢個網址係做啲咩咧？其實咧入邊就有好多好多呢個醫學相關嘅一啲文獻或者研究嘅。咁好啦，我哋嘗試下咧喺呢一個美國政府嘅官方網站度去揾一揾谷胱甘肽究竟有幾多嘅研究或者係相關嘅資料咧？其實你會見到咧係接近30萬份30萬個唔同嘅關於谷胱甘肽嘅資料啦。咁所以其實咧谷胱甘肽咧都真係好普及，或者講緊咧呢個谷胱甘肽因為對於我哋人體嗰個功效係非常之好咁所以咧亦都相關嘅研究咧係非常之多嘅。咁大家都可以真係如果有興趣嘅話咧係可以去上網去揾好多相關谷胱甘肽嘅研究啦，對於我哋人體有啲咩重要性啦咁樣。咁所以咧其實咧市面上亦都真係有好多好多係幫我哋補充谷胱甘肽嘅產品啦。咁如果你打響 Google 一 search Kutonfa product， 哇，多到真係即係琳琅滿目即係好多好多唔同嘅關於谷胱甘肽嘅補充品都有啦。好啦，咁其實咧谷胱甘肽對於我哋人體嚟講咧係有啲咩嘅幫助咧，或者有啲咩功能咧？咁我今晚都會好簡單同大家一一去分享嘅。咁首先咧，第一個谷胱甘肽對於我哋身體嘅功能咧，當然咧就係頭先講到嘅一個叫抗氧化嘅一個功能啦。咁佢可以保護我哋細胞咧免受氧化嘅喎。因為其實咧，我哋每一日就算講緊係即係每一刻其實我哋呼吸又好，或者係飲水或者食物或者係接觸外界唔同嘅嘢都好啦。其實我哋都會會有機會咧係接觸到唔同嘅一啲叫做自由基呢啲自由基咧，就算我哋身體自己嘅新陳代謝都會產生嘅。咁呢啲自由基其實就係一種氧化物質，而係會破壞我哋身體嘅。咁而咧，原來我哋身體嘅細胞咧，每一個細胞都有含有大量嘅谷胱甘肽。咁呢啲谷胱甘肽對於我哋身體有啲咩好處咧？其實就話咧可以防止咧我哋嘅細胞係俾一啲自由基所氧化啦。咁減少呢啲自由基氧化嘅時候咧，其實就提升咗我哋細胞嗰個抗氧化力啦。個細胞越能夠維持到嗰個健康，唔俾呢啲自由基氧化嘅時候咧，其實就等同於咧我哋嗰個抗衰老嘅能力就越高啦。好，咁第二個谷胱甘肽嘅功能咧，就係話咧係原來可以咧幫助我哋保護同埋修復我哋嘅肝臟。咁 我相信大家都知道啦，除咗心臟之外咧，肝臟都係我哋身體其中一個真係好大嘅器官嚟嘅。一個肝臟咧，講緊咧，對於我哋身體做嘅唔同嘅功能咧，係超過500樣啊！咁其中當然啦，肝臟係好多人都知係幫助我哋身體係做好多代謝啦，或者係好多排毒嘅功能啦，係都喺肝臟入邊去進行啦。咁而咧，原來咧，谷胱甘肽咧，我哋個肝臟嘅時候咧，其實咧係可以有效幫助我哋咧改善到，如果我哋個肝臟有脂肪肝啊、有肝炎啊或者肝硬化嘅話咧，咁其實咧谷胱甘肽都可以幫助我哋個肝臟去改善呢方面嘅喎。咁亦都當然啦，可以咧幫助到我哋減少對酒精啊、藥物對肝臟嘅傷害啦。好，咁第三個啦，谷胱甘肽嘅主要功能第三種咧，就係原來咧可以幫助我哋排除重金屬。咁如果大家知道咧，其實我哋喺即係尤其是喺都市入邊啦，其實咧真係避免唔到咧，係喺唔同嘅途徑之下咧，去接觸到或者吸入到一啲重金屬嘅，例如汞啦，即係水銀啦、鋁啊、砷啊、鎘啊、鉛啊呢啲啦。咁其實呢啲物質如果進入咗我哋身體咧，其實呢啲重金屬咧，其實係都好相對比較難去將佢哋排出嚟嘅。同埋如果呢啲重金屬咧，日積月累咁累積我哋身體嘅時候咧，其實咧重金屬其實就係可以其中一個好幫助到好輔助到啲癌細胞生長嘅一種物質嚟嘅。咁所以咧，我哋盡可能咧，真係希望可以即係去揾唔同嘅方式去設法將呢啲重金屬去排出去身體啦。咁原來咧，谷胱甘肽咧，其實就係可以其中一個功能咧，就係幫助我哋咧，將呢啲重金屬咧，佢黏住呢啲重金屬嘅時候咧，就將呢啲重金屬咧排出去體外。其中可以有效嘅就係幫助我哋將個水銀排出體外啦。因為尤其是如果一啲人咧吸入太多嘅水銀咧，如果累積喺腦部咧，就會產生好多嘅腦部嘅問題啦。咁而谷胱甘肽其中一個幫到手嘅就係將我哋身體同埋大腦入邊嘅水銀咧，去黏住咗出嚟之後咧，就透過我哋身體唔同嘅排毒器官咧排出身體嘅。好啦，咁另外咧，當然谷胱甘肽就係可以幫助我哋身體去排毒啦。咁其中咧有一啲毒素咧係比較難排出去身體嘅，就係一啲咧係黏附住響我哋脂肪入邊嘅毒素啊。咁其實咧有一啲人咧。有啲朋友如果佢話我點解減極都減唔到肥咧？咁其中一個原因咧，可能就係因為佢身體毒素比較高，而呢啲毒素咧係屬於脂溶性嘅毒素啊。咁所以咧就會係即係依附住喺我哋身體嘅脂肪度。咁而當呢啲毒素唔能夠排除嘅時候咧，其實我哋身體成個新陳代謝亦都會減慢啦，亦都會就係話呢啲毒素日積月累累積喺身體，亦都係對我哋身體會有唔同各樣嘅傷害啦。咁而谷胱甘肽咧，佢原來咧就係可以將呢啲依附咗喺我哋脂肪層嘅一啲脂溶性嘅毒素咧，將佢轉化成為水溶性喎。咁當將呢啲毒素轉化成水溶性，亦都成為一啲無害嘅物質之後咧，就可以透過我哋身體唔同嘅器官排毒器官去排出去體外啦。咁所以咧，谷胱甘肽真係對於我哋身體其實非常之重要嘅。咁同埋咧，原來咧好多嘅疾病有超過75種主要嘅疾病咧，原來咧好多研究都指出咧係同呢個缺少谷胱甘肽有關嘅。咁即係話咧，其實透過好多研究發覺就話原來好多唔同嘅疾病嘅病人，其中一個共同點一個共通點係咩咧？就係佢哋都係身體入邊含有谷胱甘肽嘅水平係唔夠嘅。係比較低嘅，咁即係話證明咗咧，原來我哋只要能夠提升我哋谷胱甘肽嘅水平嘅話咧，我哋就可以將我哋患病嘅風險減低啦。好啦，咁同埋咧，仲有一個好重要嘅功能啦，就係谷胱甘肽咧係可以幫助我哋保護到我哋每個細胞嘅線粒體嘅。咁線粒體我相信大家都應該有聽過呢個名詞啦。如果對於健康有一啲即係了解或者認識嘅話咧，咁因為咧每個細胞都有個線粒體嘅，線粒體咧就係幫助我哋個細胞去製造能量嘅。 就等同於好似我哋細胞嘅電池咁樣啦。咁但係咧，如果我哋呢個細胞嘅線粒體係受損嘅話咧，呢個細胞唔能夠做正常地產生能量咧，佢就可能會另外用其他方式去產生能量，而咧容易令到個細胞咧就變成癌細胞，咁亦都久而久之咧就會增加我哋患癌嘅風險啦。因為其實癌症就係透過我哋身體不斷累積更加多嘅癌細胞啦，呢啲癌細胞其實都係由我哋本身健康嘅細胞而變成嘅。咁如果我哋身體嘅癌細胞越多，而累積到足一個特定嘅數量嘅時候咧，佢就會成為一個即係癌腫瘤啦，咁亦都就係致癌，會致癌啦，就會產生癌症啦。咁而咧，原來谷胱甘肽咧就可以咧幫助我哋保護細胞嘅線粒體喎，咁所以咧亦都可以等同於就係減低我哋患癌嘅風險啦。如果我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽嘅水平係可以保持得足夠嘅話，好，咁好啦，咁所以咧，其實既然谷胱甘肽咁重要啦，咁但係咧其實亦都我哋亦都要留意翻，究竟乜嘢原因會導致我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽流失咧？咁當然啦，其中一個原因就係衰老啦。我哋年紀越大嘅時候，咁我哋身體用咗嘅時間越長，咁亦都會係各方面嘅機能會退化啦，會老化啦。咁從而令到嗰個谷胱甘肽，我哋自己製造谷胱甘肽嘅量會減少啦，又或者係會容易流失嘅。創傷啦，或者我哋講緊食唔同嘅一啲垃圾食物啊，例如快餐啊，一啲講緊精製嘅食物啦、零食啦、汽水啦、薯片啦呢啲啦，都係對於身體會大大減少我哋嘅谷胱甘肽啦。呢個煙草啦、酒精都會影響到我哋身體谷胱甘肽嘅量啦、壓力啦、毒素啦。同埋就係藥物都會係令到我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽咧減少嘅，甚至乎咧過量嘅運動咧都會嘅喎。咁所以咧，其實我哋經常都講咧就係話運動係好，但係咧最緊要係適當同適量啊。好，咁另外咧，一啲精製嘅碳水化合物啊，或者係糖啦，精製嘅糖啦，咁其實都係對於身體唔好嘅。咁其中一個原因就係因為呢啲物質咧都會係令到我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽咧減少嘅。咁所以大家都要留意翻啦。好啦，咁所以咧，既然谷胱甘肽咁重要啦，咁其實我自己未接觸 Lifewave 之前咧，我自己都有本身有食開營養補充品嘅習慣啦。咁其中都有係曾經去買過一啲關於補充谷胱甘肽嘅營養補充品嘅。咁究竟咧市面上其實咁多咁多補充谷胱甘肽嘅補充品啦，相比如果用 Lifewave 嘅谷胱甘肽貼片，其實佢哋究竟係有咩分別咧？咁原來咧嗱，呢個就唔係我自己講啊，係呢個係阿 David 佢去分享翻俾我哋聽，就係話原來咧用谷胱甘肽咧，其實當然啦，我哋每一日要恆常去用啦。咁如果我哋想透過用谷胱甘肽呢啲補充品咧，令到我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽水平去提升咧，係要好堅持去用啦，每一日最少去用2次啦，而連續用1個月嘅話咧，就可以幫助到我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽水平咧增加40%嘅。不過留意翻咧，因為谷胱甘肽咧，佢本身嗰個半衰期好短啊，大概係7分鐘，即係話其實佢可以喺好短嘅時間之內就已經係失去佢嘅功效。咁所以咧，去用咗呢個谷胱甘肽補充品之後咧，喺頭1個鐘谷胱甘肽嘅水平係會明顯增加嘅。咁但係咧，喺1個鐘之後咧就會好明顯咁樣下降啦。咁但係咧，相比起如果我哋用谷胱甘肽嘅貼片咧，咁我哋只需每一日貼1片啦。咁其實咧就已經可以平均幫助我哋身體咧增加我哋身體谷胱甘肽嘅量咧係超過300%嘅。咁同埋咧，仲要就係話，因為呢個貼片係不斷去即係去反射我哋身體嘅紅外線而產生嗰個光波，而刺激我哋身體係繼續製造個谷胱甘肽啦。咁所以咧喺使用緊嘅時候咧，係能夠咧不斷去維持住呢個谷胱甘肽嘅水平係上升嘅喎。 咁當然啦，呢啲亦都有晒研究報告去證明呢個貼片對於我哋人體產生谷胱甘肽嘅嗰個功效啦。好啦，咁另外咧，原來咧仲有一樣嘢要留意喎，就係咧，如果咧大家真係有需要，係即係話可能平時都知道自己比較接觸得多毒素啊，或者係講緊即係希望能夠可以將自己身體嘅谷胱甘肽嘅水平咧係提升到一個更加好嘅水平嘅話咧，咁其實咧原來咧阿 David 都有做過研究，就係話每一個禮拜連續用5日，同埋每個禮拜連續用7日，即係每一日都用嘅話咧，幫助到我哋身體提升谷胱甘肽嗰個功效係點樣咧？原來咧連續用7日谷胱甘肽嘅話咧，令到我哋身體嗰個谷胱甘肽含量咧係等於每日使用5天嘅2倍喎。咁所以咧，其實我聽到呢個資訊之後咧，我都覺得即係好開心，因為點解咧？基本上我每一日都會用谷胱甘肽嘅，咁通常都係會貼向呢一個嘅我哋嘅喉嚨位置啦。咁如果穴位嚟講，呢個叫天突穴啦。天突穴咧，對於我哋提升身體個免疫系統係有幫助啦。咁而貼喺呢個位置度咧，亦都可以咧有效幫助我哋嗰個提升我哋嗰個上呼吸管道嘅免疫力嘅。咁所以尤其是之前比較疫情爆得比較嚴重嘅時候咧，基本上我哋都建議咧，大家都係將呢個谷胱甘肽咧貼向呢一個天突穴啦。好啦，咁其實講咗咁多谷胱甘肽嘅資訊啦，谷胱甘肽又會唔會能夠幫助到我哋身體幹細胞嘅功效咧？咁樣，咁當然啦，我咁樣講得嘅就即係話俾大家聽係可以啦。好啦，咁樣喺呢度咧，我就將David 其中之前喺2020年啦，一個線上面嘅分享一個嘅片段咧，節錄咗出嚟，咁同大家去由David 佢親自去講解啦，谷胱甘肽點樣能夠幫助到我哋嘅幹細胞啦。
So can you talk to us a little bit about how does glutathione come into play with longevity, relating to detox and stem cells? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So we have an overarching goal in our research to develop products and develop new technology for ultimately age reversal. And we know that this is achievable. We know that extraordinarily long lifespans are achievable because we see it in nature now. We see things like lobsters, certain clams, planaria, glass sponges that effectively never age. So we're trying to understand those mechanisms and then apply them in new technology. One of the things that we see in human beings that live over 100 is that they have high levels of glutathione. There have been tens of thousands of clinical studies on glutathione and showing different effects, of course, but one of the things that has been established is that lifespan is intimately associated with glutathione. Now, this makes sense because not only is glutathione neuroprotective, not only does it detoxify the body, but glutathione can actually prevent the DNA in our cells from being damaged. And glutathione can actually repair damage to the DNA, preventing mutations. So when we let our glutathione levels dip, it can potentially have an effect not only on our health, but our overall lifespan. So there's quite a bit of information if people are interested in digging into this a little bit more. But I think the main message here is that while we can't use glutathione as the means to reverse aging, it plays an important role in our overall health because our health is so connected to glutathione and our lifespan ultimately is going to be linked to our levels of glutathione.
Wow. That's impressive. Where is this study found? Did you mention that?
Yeah, no, this is simply an article that's referencing a clinical study. If you type in glutathione and life extension, you're going to find a tremendous number of published studies that are going to be showing this. This one over here is a link that I pulled down on just the association between glutathione and life extension. Now, again, this is probably a good time to note that if people chose to use an oral supplement, they can do that. But oral supplements have some pretty significant disadvantages in that it takes about a month to get any significant increase in glutathione. And really, you'd have to take the glutathione supplement twice a day to get a 40% elevation. So that's not going to be entirely effective for detoxification. It'll be okay to keep the glutathione levels elevated, but certainly it's not a good strategy for detox.
Oh, I appreciate that perspective. Something that I've had a question on that relates to glutathione as well as X39. I'm hoping maybe you can answer this. I bet you can. So with the release of our X39, you know, and focus on stem cells and how it increases the number of stem cells in the body and all the amazing results that people are receiving from it. You know, how does that work exactly with glutathione? Can you explain that, what the relationship is exactly between glutathione and stem cells?
Yeah, there's a ton of things here that we can take a look at. First, I do want to, since we talked about this before, I did have a reference. So we're not pulling this out of the air. There are many published studies which are going to show the role of glutathione in detoxification. And this information has been around for decades. And it's incredible the number of toxins that glutathione will actually eliminate from the body and its immense role in our overall health. So we're not going to get into all those things now because there's plenty of references, but just suffice it to say, if you wanted to learn more about how glutathione is involved in the detox process, plenty of information there. Okay, now on to your question. This is really the fun part because X39 is our #1 product today. It's about 50% of our sales, of course, and it's the lead product. But how could we optimize the effects of X39? So Emily, maybe we could use an example. Let's say that someone has an old injury and they want to heal that injury. They want to support the healing process. And maybe they've tried X39 and they're not getting the results as quickly as they might like. Well, 2 of the options that our members have is to use either the Eon patch or the glutathione patch to improve the efficacy of X39. The reason for this is that chronic injuries especially are going to be associated with prolonged levels of elevated inflammation. And the stem cells are attracted to the site of the inflammation. So this is really the magnificent part and the divine design of our bodies. However, in cases where the injury has been around for many years, our bodies are not managing the inflammation properly as we did when we were younger. And when the stem cells get to the injury site, they're going to die off very quickly. And so this, of course, is going to reduce our capacity to heal the injury. So enter glutathione as one option. Here is a study that's been published in Stem Cell Reports. And this was relatively recent in 2018. And it's using a laboratory technique to monitor glutathione formation in real time. Glutathione has a half-life of about 7 minutes, meaning that if you take a glutathione supplement, or you even go for a IV of glutathione, about an hour later, your glutathione levels will drop off. So this again is why the patch is so much better than those other methods, because they keep the glutathione levels elevated. But regardless, here in this study, they were looking at the relationship between glutathione in living cells and how there is a connection between high levels of glutathione and proper stem cell function. And this really makes sense because we know that glutathione is going to protect healthy cells. And so it makes complete sense that a stem cell, which is about to differentiate into any number of different cells in the body, is also going to be protected by glutathione. So right down over here, our results indicate that high glutathione levels are required for maintaining stem cell functions. So bottom line is, using the glutathione patch, we know through our studies that you get detox results and other benefits, which I'll show a clinical study later. But now we know that glutathione can also support proper stem cell function. So this would be, bottom line is, if someone's using X39, they have a chronic injury, they might want to pair X39 with glutathione or the Eon patch.
I love that. I love how you said the glutathione protects the stem cells, and we need those stem cells to help our bodies function best, right? That is awesome. I love that connection point.
所以咧，原來咧，當我哋使用 X39嘅同時咧，如果可以加埋谷胱甘肽呢個貼片嘅話咧，原來咧亦都可以，因為X39就係幫助我哋身體能夠去激活幹細胞啦，令到我哋身體個幹細胞嘅量同埋嗰個功能提升啦。咁而咧加埋呢個谷胱甘肽嘅時候咧，我哋身體嘅谷胱甘肽嘅水平提升嘅時候咧，谷胱甘肽就可以更加保護到我哋嗰個因為 X39產生出嚟幹細胞嗰個功能啊，咁所以咧呢兩款加埋咧，亦都係有一個協同效應喺度嘅喎。 咁當然啦，頭先阿 David 亦都分享到就係話，原來咧伊昂貼片咧，佢都係除咗消炎之外咧，佢都可以咧幫助我哋身體咧提升谷胱甘肽嘅。咁當然啦，冇直接貼谷胱甘肽嗰個效果咁強勁啦，因為谷胱甘肽貼片係可以幫助我哋平均提升300% 嘅谷胱甘肽啦。咁而咧伊昂咧就可以幫助增加到30至40% 嘅。好啦，咁講到呢度啦，咁同大家分享一下啦。谷胱甘肽咧，原來亦都係有攞到一個專利嘅喎。咁呢個專利咧，其實大家都可以喺翻公司嘅網站嗰度咧下載翻去睇翻嘅。呢個係由美國政府去頒俾阿 David 嘅一個關於谷胱甘肽嘅專利啦。咁入邊咧，其中咧就講到就話咧，呢個谷胱甘肽咧，其實就係可以幫助到提升我哋身體谷胱甘肽嘅水平啦，同埋亦都係一個係冇入侵性嘅方式嘅，即係話呢個貼片係冇任何物質去進入我哋身體啦，咁所以係絕對安全。咁咧，其實講到專利咧，咁其實呢個專利咧，其實係真係指明呢個產品嘅功能啦。咁而當然咧，有其他產品嘅專利係講係外形嘅專利啊，或者係嗰個成分專利，或者係生產技術專利，但係呢啲專利未必代表個產品一定有個功效。咁但係咧，呢一個由美國政府頒出嚟嘅專利咧，係直接寫明係講緊谷胱甘肽咧能夠做到呢個功效。咁所以對於我哋呢個用家嚟講我哋最緊要就係個產品係咪真係幫到你手咧？尤其是呢啲保健產品啊。好啦，咁另外咧，當然啦，依間公司我其中一個好中意嘅地方就係佢做咗好多唔同嘅臨床報告啦，就係話真係用人去做一個去測試究竟呢個貼片喺人嘅身上面係咪真係發揮到功效咧？好啦，咁其中咧就有一份嘅臨床報告就係關於去研究谷胱甘肽對於我哋人體唔同器官唔同一啲 organ 嘅一啲功效啊。咁最終咧出到嚟個報告就係話咧，響14個禮拜嘅時間，即係使用時間之內啦，每日係貼一塊嘅谷胱甘肽12個鐘。咁咧，對於咧我哋嘅肝啦、膽囊啦、腸道啦、腎上腺啦、下丘腦啦，同埋垂體嗰個生理功能嘅狀態咧，係一個非常顯著嘅改善。咁係講緊咧對於胰腺即係我哋個胰臟對於分泌胰島素嘅胰腺即係控制我哋身體血糖水平嘅嗰個器官都有好明顯嘅功效，係講緊去到72% 嘅。咁另外咧有一份嘅報告咧，亦都講翻啦。一陣其實都會由David 去親自講，因為呢啲咁科學嘅報告咧，我覺得都係由翻一啲專家同大家分享。咁但係咧，大家可以喺呢度咧睇到咧，喺一個報告嚟講咧，見到咧未用之前佢哋揾咗15個使用者啦、測試者啦，未用之前去用一個儀器去check 翻佢哋身體谷胱甘肽嘅水平。咁去到咧，當佢哋用谷胱甘肽嘅時候咧，大家見到用咗5日，咁咧係好明顯每個人咧個谷胱甘肽水平都有提升嘅，甚至乎咧嗰個谷胱甘肽水平咧係已經去到呢部儀器可以探測到嘅上限去到1萬咁所以咧係真係非常之厲害。有啲人咧唔止係超過3倍嘅谷胱甘肽嘅量提升，係講緊去到5倍都有嘅。好啦，咁另外咧，呢一份報告咧，亦都就係講咗就係話，用咗谷胱甘肽之後咧，最基本能夠都已經可以提升到我哋身體谷胱甘肽嘅量去到260幾個%啦，甚至乎去到最高嘅水平咧，去到454個%嘅。咁就喺呢度咧，都再邀請David出嚟同我哋分享講解一下一啲關於谷胱甘肽嘅一啲臨床報告啦。
The science section of our website. And this study, actually, that we'll talk about comes from the science section of the website. And looking back over this year now, we said we're over 80 clinical studies. We're over 90 clinical studies now that we've completed in the last 18 years. So when someone is applying a patch to the body, we know how it works, we know what it's doing. And when we make claims, we have science to back it up. So we use some of these third-party studies as a reference, but of course we also conduct our own studies. This one I'm going to start with, it's a little bit esoteric, but I thought it might be fun to start with. This was one that was done in India and it was done in collaboration with Dr. Thornton Streeter, who is world-renowned. He's considered one of the experts in energy medicine, and this was done at the Center for Biofield Sciences. So we've done quite a few studies with Dr. Streeter now, and this one particularly, we wanted to look at the effects of glutathione on the human biofield. And one of the techniques that is used to measure these effects is called a GDV camera, and that stands for gas discharge visualization. This was a technique that was developed in Russia, and basically we can look at how does something affect the overall electric and electromagnetic fields in the body. So while it is esoteric to some people, there's actually quite a bit of science behind it. But basically, net end effect of this study was that it was a placebo-controlled study. Placebo-controlled group had no change, whereas the people that were using the glutathione patch did in fact show a significant improvement. So it was determined that the glutathione patch is a means for increasing the electrical and electromagnetic activity in the body. And this is important because it shows us another connection between lifespan. Cells, when they are electrically charged like a battery, live longer. If your cells run low on electricity, the charge comes down, the cell is going to die. So glutathione, in fact, is a way to charge up the cells of the body like a battery.
Wow. I definitely like that. I mean, we don't have a USB port, right? So this is a pretty nice way for us to be able to do that. I think that's great.
That's right.
Yeah, awesome. So are there any other studies that you would like to make sure that those that are participating in this call today were aware of as they maybe want to learn a little bit more about glutathione, or do you think that just this section is really where they can find the most information right now?
Yeah, I'm just going to show two other studies just quickly here. And this is another study that we did on the glutathione patch. It was done with Dr. Homer Nazarian from the Biomedical Engineering Department at the University of Texas in El Paso. And it was also done in association with Dr. Sherry Greenberg. And we used a technique called electrointerstitial scanning. And basically, this technique measures the bioelectrical activity in all of the organs. So the reason why this technique is valuable is not only can we see changes in the body, but we can also determine where those changes occurred and what the magnitude of the changes were. So this was exciting because what this was showing was that after a month of using the glutathione patch, we were getting statistically significant improvements in the health of all of the organs in the body. And the magnitude of the effect was quite strong. So this was a bioelectrical assessment of the glutathione patch. Now, of course, we've done other studies. We had 3 studies that we did looking at measuring glutathione levels in the blood. So we know that when you place the glutathione patch on the body, if you do a blood test, your glutathione levels go up. I will say that measuring glutathione in the blood is extremely tricky because glutathione breaks down so fast. But this was exceptionally interesting because if we look at the difference between baseline and day 1, just within 24 hours, we go to this person number 15, and these results aren't typical. These levels are over 5 times higher than at baseline. As a matter of fact, the researchers went back to recalibrate the equipment because we peaked out the equipment. 10,000 was the highest that it would measure. And they said, something's wrong here because we've never seen people's glutathione levels change this rapidly in a period of 24 hours. So we had to explain to them, how this was working. But after doing a number of studies, we found that about the average was 300%. But some people do not as well. Some people, of course, do much, much better. So that's a nice way to look at the patches. First, we look at the biochemistry, then we look at the energetics, and it all is to say that this patch has very powerful effects on the body.
好，唔該晒啊 David 啊，咁所以其實大家如果對於即係希望可以了解更加多公司Lifewave 嘅唔同嘅貼片嘅原理啊，或者功效或者臨床報告咧，其實都可以上翻 Lifewave 本身官方嘅 YouTube channel 去睇翻嘅，咁有大量嘅影片咧去講翻，咁嗰個 YouTube channel 咧，你只要喺 YouTube 度打呢個 Lifewave Health， 咁咧就已經可以揾得到即係 Lifewave 嘅官方嘅網站噶啦，嘅 YouTube 嘅 channel 噶啦。好啦，咁跟住咧就同大家分享一下啦，即係谷胱甘肽嘅一啲見證分享啦。咁首先咧就呢個 男士啦，咁其實咧佢未用 Lifewave 之前咧，佢就幫自己嘅頭髮影咗幅相啦。咁跟住咧，佢就係用咗大概3個月時間，就係 X39、Energy Enhancer 同埋谷胱甘肽3款一齊使用嘅。咁大家明顯見到咧，佢個頭髮嗰個密度高咗啦，咁嗰個白髮都減少咗嘅。咁大家見到係即係黑嘅頭髮多咗，白嘅頭髮係少咗嘅。咁因為其實好多時咧，谷胱甘肽都係，尤其是因為而家有埋 X39啦，咁所以好多時咧，我哋都係配搭住幾款一齊去使用啊。咁而咧，呢個嘅見證咧就係其中一個會員啦，咁佢就即係恆常有用 X39噶啦，咁啊前嗰排咧就即係中咗招啦，咁就佢再加埋用谷胱甘肽同能量啦，就係貼喺谷胱甘肽就貼喺嗰個天突穴啦，能量貼片咧就貼喺中府穴左飛右白咁貼嘅。咁佢發覺咧，其實咧貼咗之後咧，嗰個病徵就基本上係冇任何病徵啊。咁佢貼咗5日時間咧，就已經好翻啦，就變翻由2線變翻1線啦。OK，咁另外一個馬來西亞用家嘅分享啦，就係話咧，佢就唔小心俾屋企嘅狗狗咬到啦，咬傷咗啦，咁佢就冇去打針，咁就用 Lifewave去做實驗咯。咁咧佢咧就用 Lifewave嘅谷胱甘肽同伊昂咧就貼喺嗰個傷口嗰個位置度，咁咧發覺咧貼咗第2日咋，就已經咧個傷口咧，大家見到咧即係有個好深嘅窿咧，由呢一度啦，等先，兩隻筆好。好，係啦，大家應該見到啦，就係咧下邊呢幾幅圖就係比較深嘅一個傷口啦，去到用咗第2日之後咧，就已經係即係修復咗啦。好，咁另外咧一位朋友咧，咁佢就本身咧長期下巴嘅位置即係嘴部附近位置咧都有一啲暗瘡印啦，就不斷出暗瘡，亦都有嗰啲暗嘅印啦。咁就其實關乎到佢個腸道問題因為佢都有便秘嘅情況。咁我教佢用咗3款貼片啦 ，X39、伊昂同埋谷胱甘肽。咁佢用咗3個貼片，呢3款貼片大概3個禮拜度咧，好明顯佢嗰個呢個嘴附近嘅印係淡咗啦，再出呢個暗瘡嘅情況都減少咗。咁佢亦都講翻俾佢聽咧，佢嘅同事咧都講翻就話佢直頭係個人都係即係 fit 咗以為佢做咗減肥但係其實因為就係佢用咗呢3款貼片嘅時候咧，嗰個水腫嘅情況減少咗。好，咁另外咧，有位男士啦，咁佢本身咧面部都比較多一啲嘅暗瘡咁就用咗 X39啦、谷胱甘肽同埋活力貼片啦，用咗1個月之後咧，明顯左右兩邊經常爆瘡嘅位置咧，就已經係改善咗好多啦。OK， 好，咁另外咧，呢一個就亦都係真係一個我覺得好值得大家留意嘅一個見證啦，就係一個骨刺嘅見證咁大家見到左手邊咧，喺2021年12月嘅時候咁呢位朋友咧，咁佢就係去做咗一個檢測，就發覺咧佢身體咧響呢個好多個位，有幾個嘅唔同嘅位置都有一個叫做骨刺嘅現象嘅。咁去到咧用咗，咁佢當其時開始就用呢個 X39、伊昂同谷胱甘肽呢3款貼片啦，用咗連續7個月嘅時候咧，喺2022年7月再去做一個檢測，咁就發覺咧就已經基本上身體入邊係揾唔到有任何骨刺嘅情況啦。咁我哋俗稱呢個叫消失的骨刺真係一個非常之即係都好神奇嘅見證啦。好，咁另外咧，除咗人之外咧，狗狗都可以用嘅，貓貓狗狗小動物都可以用嘅。咁其中咧，呢位嘅朋友佢隻狗狗叫 Cupcake 咁就11歲噶啦。咁就即係話說佢就當其時就經常個肚仔唔舒服啦，屙爛屎啦。咁就佢就 主人咧就將佢嘅嗰件衫仔咧就貼咗3個貼片啊 X39、Eon 同穀胱甘肽，就貼喺佢個衫入邊啊，俾佢着住嘅時候可以用得到。咁發覺咧好明顯咧用咗之後咧，佢呢個即係肚仔唔舒服嘅情況咧就改善咗啦。咁呢啲見證都係我哋擺咗喺我哋自己嗰個見證群組度嘅 Telegram 嘅見證群組度嘅。咁大家都可以入去翻睇啦。好。咁分享咗咁多唔同嘅見證啦，咁穀胱甘肽究竟係建議有邊啲位置可以使用咧？咁主要咧公司嚟講咧就有5個建議嘅位置嘅，除咗頭先我講過嘅天突穴啦，即係喉嚨位置啦，亦都可以貼喺個肚臍下邊隔2隻手指嘅氣海穴啦。咁有啲朋友咧都分享翻就話，如果貼佢呢個位置嘅時候咧，明顯係幫助到佢哋嗰個腸道嗰個即係如果有便秘啊，或者係講緊係幫助到佢個腸道嗰個健康嘅嚇。咁另外咧，我亦都好建議好多人咧，如果想幫助個肝臟嘅保健咧，可以貼喺右腳嚇，右腳嘅太衝穴啦。大家見到咧最右上角嘅嗰圖咧，就係建議貼喺右腳嘅太衝穴啦。太衝穴就係講緊喺我哋嘅拇指同食指下邊凹咗個位置啦。咁呢個係肝經嘅其中一個穴位嚟嘅。咁穀胱甘肽咧，其實咧日頭同夜晚用都冇所謂嘅。咁而咧，其實我亦都有睇過一個 David 嘅分享咧，佢比較建議就係日頭用嘅，因為佢話咧，如果夜晚用嘅時候咧，有機會可能有啲人咧嗰個排毒反應太大咧，朝頭早就會有啲唔舒服嘅情況，所以咧，阿 David 佢就建議可以日頭用會比較好。咁當然啦，大家可以按住自己用咗之後嗰個即係體驗啦，即係去選擇究竟日頭定夜晚用啦。咁都係每一次貼1片就係貼12個鐘就可以啦。期間咧，盡量喺日間嘅時候，就算你夜晚用又好，日頭用都好咧，盡量喺日間嘅時候咧就補充多啲水分。好，咁其實咧穀胱甘肽咧都有好多唔同嘅配搭嘅使用嘅方式啦，去改善我哋身體唔同嘅狀況啦。例如好似水腫嘅情況，我哋可以用 X39、穀胱甘肽同埋能量貼片去配搭使用啦。濕疹啊或者牛皮癬啊一啲皮膚嘅狀況，可以用X39加埋穀胱甘肽、Eon 同埋活麗如果有需要嘅話咧，亦都可以用埋呢個活麗嘅晚霜咧，搽喺一啲濕疹啊或者牛皮癬嘅患處上面，會可以更加幫助到嗰個改善嘅效果嘅。骨刺啦，或者痛風啦，咁頭先消失的骨刺就係用 X39啦、穀胱甘肽同 Eon 啦。咁另外咧，其實我有一個朋友咧，佢本身都有嚴重嘅痛風啊。咁佢話咧，講緊發作嘅時候咧，係嚴重到係要去揾醫生去打針啊，去止痛啊，打啲止痛針啊，即刻止痛。咁咧，佢都係用咗39啦、穀胱甘肽同 Eon 咧，係明顯改善咗佢嗰個痛風嘅情況。咁佢用咗之後咧，就話俾我聽咧，就冇再需要去揾醫生打針啦。當然啦，穀胱甘肽本身係對肝係有嗰個修復同埋保護嘅作用啦。咁所以咧，如果肝臟係有一啲唔同狀況嘅朋友咧，或者係想對個肝都即係好好照顧佢嘅話咧，都可以用呢個方式咧，就係 X39加穀胱甘肽加能量貼片啦。咁可以護肝啦，亦都可以對於如果有肝炎啊、脂肪肝啊或者肝硬化、肝功能衰退嘅朋友咧，都可以有幫助改善嘅功效嘅。咁亦都可以幫助我哋整體提升個免疫系統啦。就係用 X39、穀胱甘肽、基肽同埋能量啦。咁所以咧，我自己好中意 Lifewave 嘅貼片，係因為佢個產品嘅種類唔多，但係咧，我哋如果識得點樣配搭唔同嘅貼片去使用嘅時候咧，其實咧身體好多唔同嘅健康狀況都係可以透過呢一套嘅貼片咧去獲得改善嘅喎。咁甚至乎啦，可以透過用Eon啊、基肽同穀胱甘肽呢3款咧，加埋 X39咁可以咧做到一個美容嘅功效嘅。咁大家都可以按住唔同嘅需要咧，例如想面部提升又好眼部提升面頰提升或者下巴提升咧，都可以用住呢幾款貼片咧去貼啦。好啦，咁所以咧，更加多其他嘅建議嘅貼法咧，大家就可以如果有需要嘅話咧，都可以買翻一本我哋嘅光療貼片使用指南去再即係去入去參考啦。好啦，咁我今晚嘅分享咧就嚟到呢度啦。咁